Hi, Brian. It's Jessica Zadinak from ARAC. Good to see you. Hey.
Yeah.
So when we've spoken a few times about our behavioral science firm, and when we talk to potential clients, the industry, and they are looking to expend their resources into the science that you have and CTP, or Office of Science, have been very specific about what you're looking for. Sometimes there's hesitation in starting that because of right now the fact that there are no flavored e-cigarettes that have been authorized. And so sometimes it's like doomsday, right? And there's this fight or flight type of environment where they don't want to put that effort in because there has not been authorization. So 2 questions. 1, what would you say to those that are in the room that are hesitant on starting that? And then second, even if it's not e-cigarettes, what would you say when we talk about a behavioral framework when it comes to other potentially reduced harm products such as oral nicotine pouches?
Yeah, so I appreciate the questions. And I'll say, I'll reiterate what I've said before, that there's no de facto policy. And so if you look at the historical precedent, we have authorized flavored lower risk alternative products. So there's certainly a precedent here. And I do think that we've been unequivocally clear on what the expectation is in terms of what you have to show scientifically in terms of that excess benefit, in terms of comparing the flavored product to the tobacco flavored product, which we know has low use appeal. And so ultimately, if an applicant were to demonstrate that, that would be a key avenue to ultimate authorization. I know a lot of folks are working on that. I've seen some studies, including from you and others, that have been presented at meetings, and I think that's really good. And I encourage the innovation. I encourage the continued robust science. We're a data-driven agency, and I can assure you that with Matthew Farley at the helm of our Office of Science is going to continue to be that way. To date, there has been no center director that has overridden a recommendation from the Office of Science, and that has not changed with my tenure. We certainly have scientific discussions and deliberation, but ultimately the decisions from the Office of Science through the comprehensive review of dozens of scientists hold important weight. And so we've been clear about what that standard is, and we really welcome the opportunity for applicants to bring that science to us. And as I said, I feel very hopeful. I've seen the quality of the science improve, and I think that transparency and dialogue has been really useful, particularly with regard to potential flavored products. That said, I will note that I continue to be concerned about youth use of products, particularly e-cigarettes. I do think it's very promising that we've seen declines, but there's also considerations around the type of products and the flavored products. And so making sure that we have important science to assess what the prevalence of use of those different products are, while also looking at the potential net benefit to adult smokers, and importantly, giving FDA all the information and science we need to make that informed decision to see if the scale outweighs each. So you've got my word that we're going to review the science when we get it, but we really need the applicants and folks to step up and make sure they provide the most robust science as possible. And for our part, we're committed to making sure you've got as much clarity as possible to help get there with a successful application.